Talk us through the latest.
Well, the pebble in the shoe analogy is appropriate in some ways, but also you can't just take off the shoe and dump the rocks out. There's the threat, actually, of more rocks coming in. The North Koreans have been threatening a lot lately. They're angered by Seoul's continued support of the global, if not U.S.-led sanctions on the North that has really damaged the economy, especially at a time throughout a harsh winter that was also affected by the coronavirus outbreak. They're also upset by South Korean activists who have flown leaflets across the border trying to undermine and criticize the regime of Kim Jong-Un. So we've had a number of threats of late, and even the South Korean Unification Ministry, which did call this blowing up of the liaison office yesterday a senseless act, but it also said, it was more or less expected because of the threats. And it also leads to lots of speculation what could be next from the North Koreans. We're already hearing that they're likely to be moving military garrisons into those frontline areas of the border, which were pretty much evacuated during the time of rapprochement from 2018. There are 10 frontline guard posts that were evacuated by the North Koreans. Those potentially could be filled up again as a provocation. But also, there could be military put into places like the Mount Kumgang Resort, which was built several decades ago and has been, empty for the last 12 years or so. It was built by the Hyundai Group, and Kim Jong-Un has been very critical of it. So if the military is moving in, we could see parts of that resort destroyed. We could see, more development of short-range missile program to pressure Seoul. That those missiles that could be potentially nuclear capable, like the KN-23, that could be a provocation to the South. So there's a number of things that we could still be waiting for as the North tries to get some attention, but at the same time not necessarily spark hostilities in a war.
Steve, who also has gathered attention, Kim's sister, Kim Yo-jong, and I can't help but think, you really are starting to see a lot more visibility from her here. What does this tell us about her increasing role, it seems, with these issues?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, she is the one responding to some of these comments coming from the South, like the Moon Jae-in speech. She's the one who said, it's irresponsible, that Moon's speech is irresponsible, and she's the one who's flatly rejected a request from Seoul to send an envoy to the North to smooth relations at this time. And on Saturday, it was Kim Yo-jong who issued this unusual statement saying it was high time to break off ties with Seoul. And, she warned that the next action against what she called the enemy, that being South Korea, would come from the army. And that's indeed what we saw yesterday. And we could, as I said just a minute ago, could see further action from the army as they fill in the border areas that had been evacuated over the last couple of years. Clearly, she is her brother's most trusted confidant in the government as well as in the hierarchy because of the bloodline. It's a dynastic regime, of course. Does this mean she's simply earned more trust from Kim Jong-un, or somehow he is incapacitated? Remember, in April, he was out of the public view for nearly 3 weeks, which led to lots of speculation about his potential health. And now she seems to be the face of the regime right now.